Well, you know, normally when we come out to Adelman's Peonies and we talk about the beautiful peony flower with Carol, you know, they're all in bloom everywhere. We've never been here at fall before to talk about how to prune and cut them, but look at this garden still, even in almost October here, it is stunning. So good job on that, Carol. Now, what are we going to be doing? Because we've talked about how to prune different peonies before, but tell me about this one variety we're going to talk about.
Okay, this is a tree peony called Renown. And one of the reasons, some of the reasons you might want to divide a tree peony is if you're moving and you want to take some with you, if it isn't putting out as many flowers as it did before, if it's in too shady of a spot, so, some of those things you might want to dig it up and divide it. And this is about a 3-year-old plant here.
This is only 3, my goodness, it's massive.
And this is the woody top, and we've cut it down quite a bit so that we can get to what we're doing, and we washed it so that we can have a good view. And these are the tools that we use for dividing.
And Carol, you suggest even to the home gardener, when you dig any peony up to do some pruning, wash it off so you really see what's there, right?
Well, it's a good idea, especially if it's an expensive one,
sure.
so you can feel more comfortable with what you're doing. So you want to leave some pieces with eyes on some pieces with roots.
These little white things here are the eyes?
Those are the eyes,
okay.
And those are going to make the stems and the leaves and the flowers for next year.
And then what is your goal? What are you looking for with each of the stems with eyes on it?
We want to leave some good root mass with it.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how we can get that out of there.
I feel like I should help, but I don't know how.
I've got it all the way. I think it's pretty well affixed to this one.
Uh-huh.
And we have another one over here I think we can cut off pretty
and
easily.
So you're not really you're not saying, oh, this is the one I have to do this with. You're kind of letting the whole root system tell you what needs to be cut, okay?
Sometimes you can get some big ones,
wow.
But sometimes you get some small ones too. So.
And would you consider this one, this could be replanted just like this then?
Well, it could, but we're going to cut the...
Oh, you're just pruning off some of the length of them.
We're going to take off some of the length so that it gets the idea that it's supposed to start growing again.
And then would you transplant it now at this time?
Yes. And so you can plant it like that and cover it up probably about to here.
Uh-huh.
And it'll just take off. And one fellow today called and he was thrilled because his first year plant that he planted last fall, tree peony bloomed for him already.
Oh, really?
And his friends thought that was unheard of.
Well, it's not now, is it?
So maybe we're going to have to grab hold of this and pull.
I'm very good at helping. So what we're going to do is take a break while we work on this and get it apart, okay? So now, Carol, from that one massive plant, you've come up with 5 really large ones and 1 little one that you're going to give your granddaughter to work on, you said. But tell me about now the transplanting concept. What is it that you would use to amend the soil before you put these in?
Well, we use a low nitrogen fertilizer, like a tulip daffodil fertilizer. That works really well. And in Western Oregon, we have acid soil, so we add a cup of lime or dolomite to the planting hole to sweeten it up a little bit.
And then...
So you would set the plant down like this. The roots actually could be a little bit shorter.
Uh-huh.
And cover it up to these bottom eyes here. And it will make more growth next year. And then possibly next year it'll set out more stems. They're not like a tree rose. They shouldn't be just a one stem plant. They should be a multi-stem plant. And if you get a plant that has old weak stems, you could cut it down to the ground level and it will put up sprouts beside it so that you'll have a
And what about
invigorated.
You really think, especially with tree peonies, they should be on their own root system is best for them?
Yes, because if you live in a really cold climate, then if they die down in the winter, they'll come back up as the same thing as opposed to a grafted one, which sometimes the herbaceous graft will take over.
Sure, sure. Well, you know, we always come out here in the spring and we see these breathtaking blooms from peonies, but the reality is sometimes you got to do a little work in the fall to get ready for those beautiful blooms in the spring. For more information on all kinds of information on peonies, you can go to gardentime.tv. We'll click you over to Carol's peony website. Carol, thank you so much for your time, my friend.